Thought it made sense to start this year off with some beginner-friendly vegan meals that are, above all, comforting and warming, quick and easy to make, of course, and single serving. So I really hope you like them. I hope you're gonna try some of them. Also today I'm sponsored by Surfshark. I'll talk more about them later though. For now, let's get to cooking. Alright, we're gonna start this off with this super warming 10-minute, one-pot spicy dumpling soup. To a small to medium pot, you're going to add gochujang, vegetable broth, soy sauce, some mild vinegar, also some crispy chili oil, bit of coconut milk, and some salt to taste. Bring this mix up to a low simmer. In the meantime, cut some zucchini into ribbons using a vegetable peeler. Cut some plain tofu into whatever shape you prefer. And also chop a spring onion into tiny pieces. As soon as the soup is simmering, add some ready-made dumplings of choice. You can substitute these with quick cooking noodles, or maybe you have some previously homemade dumplings in the freezer. A few years back, I made my own dumplings for the Avatar: The Last Airbender video. I will link that one down below. It's a good one. Right atop the dumplings, I'm adding some vegan kimchi, the tofu, the zucchini ribbons, the spring onion, and then I'm putting on a fitting lid and just letting everything simmer until the dumplings have defrosted and cooked through. This should take 3-4 minutes max. Now see if you need anything else flavor-wise, but if you're happy with it, serve right away. As with all of today's recipes, this yields one serving, so it's perfect for the very introverted hermit phase I'm in right now. This stew brings me so much comfort. It's spicy though. You know what else brings me comfort? Using a VPN to feel safe and protected whilst browsing the internet. This video is sponsored by Surfshark. Surfshark VPN, or Virtual Private Network, encrypts your data and keeps you and your online identity safe and protected. This is done through various different methods, like adding an extra layer of protection when using public Wi-Fi, or keeping your data safe from big companies and bots who want nothing more than to track what you're doing online. Surfshark offers around 4,500 servers, allowing you to virtually travel the world and safely access content from different countries. So you can, for example, stream shows that you otherwise wouldn't have had access to. On top of that, very comforting is the fact that they have 24/7 support, so you can get additional help anytime you need via live chat, email, and social media. Try it out. Go to surfshark.com/MinaRome or use code MinaRome at checkout to get 4 extra free months of Surfshark VPN. Link down below. I am so in love with this next recipe. It's this insane lemon curry wrap. It tastes just like takeout, maybe even better. First, tear a block of firm tofu into chunks. Coat the chunks lightly in cornstarch. Bring a non-stick skillet with a tablespoon of vegetable oil to medium/medium-high heat and allow the tofu to cook until golden brown and crispy. Next, in a food processor, blend together everything for the sauce. 1 to 2 shallots, 2 cloves of garlic, some tomato paste, some yellow curry paste, lemon zest, lemon juice. Also different spices. I'm using chili, cumin, and ground cloves. Also a bit of agave, and lastly, about half a cup of water. Blend until somewhat smooth. Pour the sauce over the now crispy tofu. Give it a good mix and let everything cook for 2 to 3 minutes over medium heat, giving the tofu a chance to absorb some of the sauce. I'm adding some cilantro in the end, optional, but recommended. And then I'm serving this in these delicious, fluffy flatbreads that I got from a Turkish bakery. I added some spinach here, of course. And then the chewy, saucy tofu. Oh, also some yogurt sauce, but it's just a mix of unsweetened soy yogurt, lemon juice, olive oil, salt and pepper. And I can't skip out on the sesame seeds. This is so yummy. This is possibly the yummiest wrap I've made in weeks. So nice. Also, if I look like I slept 3 hours, it's because I slept 3 hours. I don't know what's going on with me lately. I went to bed at like 11, maybe even before 11, and I think it took me like 4 hours to fall asleep. Only then to wake up early in the morning. And my body was super relaxed. It was just that my mind cannot shut up sometimes. But if you have any tips for falling asleep, let me know in the comments. Moving on to this super easy and delicious pistachio lemon pasta, heavily inspired by this comment here. Thank you so much, Kitty Greg 1507. First, I'm mincing a clove of garlic. In the background, I've got a non-stick skillet preheating to medium. I'm adding some olive oil to that and then letting the garlic cook for 2 to 3 minutes until fragrant. I'm bringing some salted water up to a boil for the pasta. And like the comment suggested, I'm going with linguine. I'm adding 1 serving here, which is around 100 grams. Next, I'm grabbing my zucchini and cutting it once again into ribbons. Then I'm removing the shell from about a handful of salted roasted pistachios and mincing those. Now I'm adding the zucchini noodles to the garlic, as well as the pistachios, about half a teaspoon of lemon zest. I'm mixing that up and letting this saute for 3 to 5 minutes. Then I'm adding the lemon juice and about half a cup of pasta water. Finally, I'm mixing in the pasta plus some vegan parmesan, but you could also make your own plant-based parmesan by blending together all these ingredients, or simply just go for nutritional yeast if you like nutritional yeast, which sometimes I don't, like on its own. It depends on the day, really. I finished everything off with an extra squeeze of lemon juice, an additional sprinkle of pistachio, and cheese. And that was it. Very much a spring type of dish, but still super comforting on any cold and gloomy day. I, for one, am enjoying my pasta whilst browsing AO3. After almost a year-long break from reading fanfiction, I'm back on that. If you ever not like something about any type of media you consume, you can just not claim that for yourself and read a fanfiction instead, or write your own. This next meal feels like a kid's meal, basically. It's these lazy pizza tacos using pulled oyster mushrooms for the filling. First, I'm chopping up a red onion and letting it saute in a bit of vegetable oil for about 5-6 minutes. Next, I'm tearing apart a bunch of oyster mushrooms. Normally, I would cut them with a knife, but I found recently that pulling them gives them a bit of a different meat-like texture. I'm adding the now pulled mushrooms straight to the onion, letting that cook for another 7-8 minutes. And then I'm seasoning everything with salt and this mushroom spice mix. We're adding ready-made tomato sauce next. Give everything 3 to 5 minutes of simmering. Then grab little tortillas like these, can also be corn-based, and fill each one with a couple tablespoons of the mushroom mixture and a sprinkle of vegan pizza cheese. I'm actually not cleaning the pan here. Instead, I'm adding another drizzle of olive oil just to give the tortillas an extra layer of flavor on the outside. I'm allowing these to cook for about 3 to 4 minutes per side on medium to medium-high heat. I'm also steaming some broccolini in the background. I'm adding some lemon zest, salt, and sesame to that, and there we go. Very delicious, very easy, quite lazy, but still super comforting. I asked you guys on Instagram, what is your current favorite lazy meal to make? And someone said blended cauliflower, which I tried and then used as a base to make healthier mac and cheese. First, I'm cutting my small head of cauliflower into rough florets, then transferring that to a fitting pot in order to boil the cauliflower for 10 to 15 minutes or until soft. Next, I'm blending the drained cauliflower until smooth. And after taste testing it, I would highly recommend that you add a tablespoon of vegan butter alongside a bunch of salt, of course. It has a really nice, fluffy, whipped texture that tastes so close to mashed potatoes, and so you could definitely serve this as a side. However, I feel like texture-wise, for me personally, this really only makes sense as like a hidden veggies mac and cheese type of situation. And so I'm simply just combining the whipped cauliflower with some miso paste that I'm first dissolving in a bit of hot water. Then I'm adding some cooked, drained, spelt pasta. And now to balance out the flavors, I'm also adding some white wine vinegar, the vegan parmesan, salt, and pepper. But yeah, this was really nice. Very wholesome, very cozy. Would recommend. That is a wrap on all of today's recipes. I've been doing quite a lot of these like 10, 15, 20-minute meals lately, and I thought it made sense to make a whole playlist. I will make sure to link that one down below. Anyway, thank you so much for watching until the very end. I really, really appreciate it. Also, thank you to Surfshark for the sponsoring today. Helps me to keep this channel going and keep the recipes coming. Yeah, that is it. Bye!